Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of This Agrarian Life with me, your host, Herrick Kimball. Today I'm here in my kitchen, at the kitchen table, and I'm working on making clothespins. And as some of you know, clothespin making is part of This Agrarian Life. I have numerous craft and other creative endeavors. I'm a solopreneur. I work alone. My wife helps me, but I do work alone for the most part. And this is how I make a living. I self-publish books, I make clothespins, and I have other products. They're all at planetwhizbang.com. You can check them out. But now that winter has come, it's cold outside, I'm focusing more on interior projects where it's warm. There's no place warmer than my house with the wood stove going, and I have a lot of natural light here. I have the ceiling lights on now, but for most of the day I have natural light, which is ideal for what I'm doing here, which is inspecting. All these clothespin halves that you see here spread out. First of all, I have a box here of clothespin halves that need to be inspected, and here I have a box of clothespin halves that have been inspected. They're ready to assemble. I got another box here that have been inspected and they're ready to assemble, and I've got several more boxes in the living room. My wife loves this when I get the house full of clothespins, but they're in the living room ready to be sorted and inspected is what I should say, not sorted so much as inspected. Yeah, they're inspected and they're sorted. And here are the rejects from these two boxes so far. Rejects are, well, they're rejected for various reasons, but those will be sold at a later date as seconds. And in the process of inspecting here, I'm looking for flaws in each half. And so what I do, well, I should tell you that all these clothespin halves you see here have been tumbled. They've been tumbled together for an hour and a half. And that rounds the edges, and if there's any cracks or problems with the wood, they show themselves through the process of that tumbling. Then I take the halves and they're oiled. They tumble in a mixture of linseed oil and turpentine and tung oil. And then after they have tumbled and they've been soaked, they tumble for a half an hour in that solution. I dump them out on a big table, let them dry a little bit, then I put them in these boxes, bring them in my house where it's warm, because I do all this, I don't tumble and all of that work in my kitchen. I do it out in my shop, and then I bring them in. So after they've dried, before I assemble them, I go through and I inspect them, and every single clothespin gets inspected. By the way, these are a couple of the finished pins right here. My website is classicamericanclothespins.com. You can go there and learn all about these clothespins that I make, and they're made out of ash. Ash is a good hardwood. It has light grain and it has dark grain. So the pins tend to be either light or dark, and some are light and dark together where the wood transitions. But I match them up so that they're light or dark. I don't put a light half on a dark half, but maybe I'll tell you about that later. For now, I inspect every one of these, and I'll sit here, I'll lay them all out like this, and I'll sit here for as long as it takes. I'll fill the table mostly with these laid out like this, and then I inspect them two at a time. Two at a time. I look at the front, look at the back. Those two are good. Look at the front, look at the back. This one has a fuzzy cut on this spring end groove. It's got a little bit of a fuzz there on the grip groove. So I do a little knife work on that. And I actually don't do this inspection with my glasses on. because I can't see that well with my glasses on when it comes to something like this. So I take my glasses off, and as odd as this may look, I hold these clothespins this close to my eyes because my eyesight is such that when I hold something this close, it's like 10x. I mean, it's like a magnifying glass. Now, my wife is just the opposite. She's got to be with her glasses off. You got to hold it out here, which is pretty strange to me. And I thought it was pretty funny when I was younger, and my mother, who also had glasses, and evidently the same eyesight I have, when she reached a certain age, she started looking over the top of her glasses, and I thought that was pretty funny. And then years later, I started doing it. And when I was working in the prison, you know, I would get somebody would give me something to take a look at, and to see it up close, I would pull my glasses down and look over my nose, or look over the top of the glasses. And the guy I was working with one day said, "You know, you look really stupid when you do that." And I couldn't help it. That's the only way I could really see well. So that's the story of 10x vision, my 10x vision. And so I'll sit here for long periods of time until I get sick of it, and I'll sort through these two at a time, inspect one side, inspect the back. If I need a little cleanup on like these grip grooves here, I'll do that, and I won't torture you with like 10 more minutes of this. I just want to share with you the part of the process that I go through here to make these clothespins. And this is a winter project. It's part of This Agrarian Life. And in my next episode, maybe, I'll show you how I put these together, how I assemble these clothespins after I've inspected and fixed and sorted out. Like that one there, it's got some roughness I don't like. That's a number 2. These clothespins. And if you are on my list, my clothespin customer list, and I've got, I can't remember, a couple hundred or more people on there, I hope to get to you this winter. I'm really going to make a move on clothespins. I'm going to commandeer most of this kitchen table for a few months here, unless I absolutely have to clear out, and like for Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner and stuff like that. But I'm camping out right here, and I do this till I get sick of it, and then I go out in my shop and work, or I work on my mail orders. I just kind of work this in, and I could never do this if the weather was good outside, if the garden was out there, or there was wood to cut that needed to be done and things like that. But it's a perfect job for the winter. If you're a woodworker and you have an interest in making your own clothespins, I have specifications. I sell the springs, and you know, check it out at ClassicAmericanClothespins.com. I'll put the link below. Thanks for watching, everybody.